Hello everyone, this is Grandmaster Damian Lemos here for iChess.net and welcome to this new video. We are in our series for beginners and today we'll talk about Zugzwang. And this concept is quite an interesting one. Zugzwang is a type of tactic and it is when a player is in disadvantage because it is his turn, it is his move, his turn to act, but all available moves are bad. So in order to understand this concept, it is better to show examples. So here we have one white. As you can see, we have the rook here. His pawn is about to promote, and for the time being, no matter what we play, it looks like he's going to promote, and that's it. But now let's take a look at this move, Rook A1. This move looks completely nonsense because we are sacrificing our rook, but now black has no choice but to take. I mean, if he moves the king here or to A3, he's just hurting himself. Now we control these squares, he has to move his king, and we simply take the A2 pawn. We are up a rook, therefore we win. So, Rook A1, any human being would take that rook, and then white plays king here. As you can see, now black is the one in Zugzwang because he cannot move the king. The A2 pawn cannot move either, but these are not the only pieces left on board. We have his kingside pawns. This is what we call a Zugzwang. Black is running out of moves, and in fact the only move he has is playing this pawn to h5. He has to. Whether he wants or not, he has to play h5. But we know that if he advances this pawn, we'll just take it. So this is a nice example of Zugzwang. No matter what black plays, he's hurting himself. All the available moves are bad. Here he's got only one available move, h5, we take. Again, he cannot move his queenside, therefore he has to play the only available move. Concept repeats. He's also trying to promote, but we arrive first, we promote a queen, and this is checkmate. Even if we promote a bishop, I don't know how to promote the bishop this time in this interface, but suppose we promote the bishop, it would still be a checkmate. So here we see a nice Zugzwang, and this is not the only example we have. Let's see more. So this one, for instance, it is our turn to move. As white, our pawns go up, and we play something like e7. Here black, he is in Zugzwang because he doesn't have many moves left, and the only available move he has, king f7, runs into king d7, and then he cannot stop promotion. So after e7, another Zugzwang. He doesn't have good moves, and the only moves he has, in this case, the single move he has, is a losing one. So let's see more. This one, for instance, this pawn is close to promoting. We have a powerful bishop, the king is well placed, and we have to move as white. The only card black has here is his knight. This is the only piece stopping promotion. For instance, if we play h7 as white, this would be a huge mistake because he takes, and now, despite having an extra piece, we know white doesn't have enough material to mate, therefore this is a draw. But we can leave the pawn on h6 and we can try advancing later. So here white, if he plays a move like this, simple, we move our king, this is a Zugzwang for black. Why? Because no matter what he plays, he's losing. For instance, if he moves the king here, king e3, king f3, or even king g3, then we just take his knight. Once we take the knight, then the pawn runs and we promote, and of course we win. He cannot move the king. He would love playing king here, but the bishop is guarding that square. So if he moves the king, he'll lose the knight. What happens if he moves the knight? That's not something he wants to do because the knight is the only one guarding the h7 square. So if, for instance, if he moves the knight here, then we simply play h7, and there's no way for him to stop promotion. Well, maybe he can check, sure, but we can play this, we can even play king there, and we promote next. There's no move for black to stop this. Well, he can try this one last trick, but we take and we promote next. So, in order to have a Zugzwang position, we need a lot of requirements. This doesn't happen often, and we are used to seeing Zugzwang positions in endgames, where we have few pieces left. For instance, this position, the previous positions we saw, they were endgames as well, but you might find some middle game positions, positions with a lot of pieces on board, and your opponent is still in Zugzwang. That's tough, because if you have 16 pieces on board, and all of your moves are losing, that is tough, but possible. Here, as you can see, no matter what he plays, he's in bad shape. Let's see, another Zugzwang. Here, for instance, another endgame. We have more pieces on board, but still an endgame. White, his king is in a stalemate position. The king cannot move. I cannot move my f-pawn. If I play f3, he takes it. If I play f4, here black can also take. And this is actually en passant. You can check the en passant rule video we have on this channel. And white, well, he basically cannot move his king side. And what about queen side? Can I move this pawn, c2? I can't. Can I move a4? I can't. What about this bishop? Can I move bishop b3? Well, technically, yes, I can, but should I? If I move my bishop, bishop d5, bishop d4, bishop a2, no matter where, even bishop g8, no matter where I move my bishop, he takes the a4 pawn. And of course, he wins. I don't have an active king, and this pawn runs till he promotes. So, in this position, as you can see, white is in Zugzwang. He cannot move. No matter what he moves, he's dead. So, another great example we have here. White is up 2 pawns. Our king is a bit far away from the action, but still, here as white we can win because it is easy to put our opponent in a Zugzwang situation. Black, I mean, if it was black to move, he would probably play king here. He would try grabbing this pawn and then he'll come after the other one. So this makes sense. However, if it is white to move, we can play a move like f6. And here we have another Zugzwang situation. Let's see. Let's see his possibilities. He's got moves. He's got like 1, 2, 3, 4. He's got 4 moves. The problem is all of these 4 moves are losing. That is why we call this a Zugzwang. Let's start with king h8. Well, here we simply play f7. This is a threat. He cannot play king here because h6 is guarding that square. Therefore, we promote and we win. We saw king here, king h7, this is pretty much the same. We lose the h6 pawn, but we promote, and he cannot play king here. So these 2 moves we know they are losing. Now let's go to the f file. If he plays this, I play h7, and again we promote. And the same goes after king f7. We play this, and there's nothing he can do to stop promotion. Another Zugzwang. This, if you play enough chess, you'll have the chance at some point in your career to do this Zugzwang. I've had the chance of doing this a lot. So let's see what else. Here we have an interesting one. We have positions where both sides are in Zugzwang. This is like a mutual Zugzwang situation. And this is funny because each side, I mean, black is guarding the e5 pawn, and so is white, protecting the e4 pawn. So here, if it's white to move, then we lose, and if it's black to move, then we win. This is a mutual Zugzwang situation. I mean, imagine it is our turn as white. If we move the king, he just takes the e4 pawn. We cannot play king f4 because his e5 pawn is there, guarding f4. So we have this. We have these squares for our king, but no matter where we move the king, he takes, and then the rest is simple. This guy advances, and he promotes. But now let's imagine it is black to move, and he's in the same bad spot. I mean, he can move the king, sure, but he cannot guard the e5 pawn. He would love to play king d5, but the e4 pawn is there guarding d5, so here we take. Our king is controlling key squares, and the rest is a matter of technique. We'll learn endgames as well during this course, and as you can see, white here, he wins. So Zugzwang, again, it is a type of tactic. It usually happens in endgames, but we'll find situations where we can use the Zugzwang tactic in middle game and even in openings sometimes. So that's all for this video. I hope you found this useful. I hope you could learn a new concept. And of course, I want to see you guys in my next chapters. Thank you.